This is like a classic sort of format. This is how I usually like playing this map. So we should be fine. What the Felix? He has a Felix. So it looks like Boris is going to have some time cycle charging. We also have the Pit of Shades. Decent versus dwarves because of armor piercing, but nothing special. And it seems like for his army, he's actually going pretty Longbeard heavy. Surprisingly Longbeard heavy, actually. I don't know how I feel about that, but we shall see. In the meantime, we'll get some pot shots at the Longbeards. See how well they do. I think my greatswords on this point will be better suited, since I completely outrange him on this flank. Maybe he has a bunch of rangers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 3 rangers somewhere in here. So I have to be a little bit wary that they'll be popping up. I'm not that worried though, since my handgunner should still power through them, no problem. As for his cannons, we don't want to lose our Hellstorm here. We'll see if it can actually trade into those cannons. It's doing a lot of damage from the get-go. So as long as we don't lose too many entities, we should be fine. Barely hits one of my things, but actually it just manages to stay alive. That's good. And nice. I guess we can use Boris here to rout these guys off. I'm seeing a pretty heavy commitment on this area. I might have to pull back, which is totally fine by me. And that's for the Hellstorm Rocket Battery, of course, as usual. It's a terror. Hellstorm Rocket Battery is incredibly strong, guys. Is incredibly strong. Ah, there we go. There's the Quarrelers. I knew there'd be some Rangers here. Now they are a little bit squishy. I should be able to hit them up with the Pit of Shades action. There we go. Just slam it right on top of him, and then I should be able to punish him for overextending here. Let's go ahead and get some great swords to hold up for my handgunners in case they do need that help. Then we'll just use Boris to rout these guys off. We're just making it as hard as humanly possible for him to shut down this rocket battery. As hard as humanly possible. There we go. We rout off those guys. The cannons are routing. I'm feeling pretty good about my position so far. Not to mention we can desummon the rocket battery, so that just makes life way better. As for Boris, he can put a little bit of a butt whooping on Felix, so I'm not too worried about that. And here we go. The handgunners are here, so they should be able to get some beautiful lines of fire into that area. And I'm not too worried about capturing points. I mostly am just playing for value trades here. So we just gotta be a little bit careful and we'll be okay. Let's see. What do I want next, though? That's a real question. I'm honestly just thinking more crossbows. Because as long as we have the range advantage here, we're fine. Wow, those Ranger great weapons got shot by they got shot by the handgunners while the Longbeards were on the approach. That's vicious. That should be able to rout them off, no problem. And then next up is these miners, so that volley routs them off. Now we just gotta get those miners out of the way. Let's go ahead and bring in the support tools that we need. Get in my knights to chase off some of those guys. And then the rocket battery can just batter some more dwarf warriors. Look at those handgunners, though. Oh my gosh. That is disgusting. Oh my gosh. I don't even need Boris there. Yeah, screw that. Who needs Boris when you just have the power of the Empire ranged? Oh my goodness. Look at that Hellstorm rocket batteries annihilating them. Oh my gosh. Look at some Longbeards got in here. Yeah, this is what I mean, guys. That's what I mean. You think Empire is good? You think Empire is gonna lose to some pesky dwarves? The dwarves got nothing on the power of the Empire. Oh man, yeah, significantly cheaper handgunners is always great. What's that? Some more Longbeards. We'll hit them up with the artillery. Should be fine. And then soon enough, I can even desummon it, which will be really good for me. Let's go ahead and get my crossbows here. See, the dwarves have been absolutely annihilated by 5 handgunners. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. But Boris is taking some damage. Let's go ahead and pull him back to safety a little bit. Don't want him getting murdered here. Hellstorm rocket batteries out of ammunition. Will I get 900 gold off of desummoning them? Yes, that is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I get 900 gold for that? The Hellstorm rocket battery got me so much value and it's giving me 900 gold. Oh my gosh. Well, I'd say we've done it. Like, there's not a lot left you can really do here. Let's turn fire well off. Never mind, there's nothing left alive over there. Oh my goodness, look at this. Yeah, this is a terrible map for dwarves too. Don't get me wrong. Dwarves are still very strong versus the Empire. This map's just really bad for them. Like, exceptionally bad. Just because they have to spread out so much. Alright, let's start making this transition over here. We have a million crossbows, so I'm not too worried. And having the range advantage is huge. Huge here too. Oh, look at that. We got some guys here. Blasting charges on my knights, a little bit painful. Let's pull these knights away. We should have the capture point secured. You can see because of the UI at the top, we know that it's secure, thank goodness. And let's just get him out of here. As for my wizard, let's save him from Felix. I want Felix killing him. Get another great sword going. And we're just gonna keep bouncing the knights around. Now, Boris is dying, which is not great. Let's go ahead and save him from the Slayers. I thought those were Dwarf Warriors. It turns out they were not. Those were totally Slayers. Nevertheless, nothing a little Pit of Shades action can't deal with. It gets the job done. In the meantime, we also have our handgunners here. They can start firing into these guys. And as long as Boris makes it out alive, I'm not too worried. That was a little bit of a throw, taking that much damage on Boris. Has me a teensy bit worried, but I think we're okay. Let's go ahead and get a couple more handgunners here. They can make the transition pretty fast. And honestly, I think we have a snipe opportunity on this guy over here soon. I think we can just snipe out Thorek. He's pretty exposed right now. So I feel like if we just focus fire him, Boris is dead. No, not like this. Not like this. Is my confidence? Am I throwing again? Oh my gosh. Those Slayers did so much damage. It's fine though, it's fine. We can punish Thorek. We can punish him for his transgressions against the Empire. And then maybe I just resummon, maybe I resummon, good old, what's his face? I can resummon my guy. I can resummon my Lord Boris. We'll save up for it. You know, he's a good source of terror. He's a good source of leadership. We want him back. There we go. Tit for tat. Tit for tat. We killed off. He killed my lord. I kill his lord. Easy, guys. Easy. All right. There we go. We're fine. Boris will be back in a moment anyways, right? Jeez. Resummon him? Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. Because I think resummoning Thorek isn't the biggest play for him. And as long as I keep my great swords from getting blasted, we're good. Alright, nice. Let's split these guys so that the Slayers don't get too much damage in. Looks like my handgunners are doing great on this flank. And then, I guess, ooh, I can Pit of Shades those miners. That'd be pretty good. There we go. Looks like those guys are suffering pretty hard. My great swords are finding the perfect targets for themselves. And Boris should be back in a second. Now that Pit of Shades is to make sure that this one handgunner unit can beat that miner unit. Typically you don't want to just normal cast Pit of Shades willy-nilly, but in this case it should work out pretty well. And Boris is back in a second here. Let's get my wizard in there. Now we don't have the points actually captured, which is a little bit scary. I guess I do have a pretty immense value lead, which is good. We do finally have Boris back to snipe out Felix. Very nice, very nice. Okay, and now we're just doing cleanup. Now we're just doing cleanup. These handgunners, though, have so much value. You know how much value these guys have gone? They've routed off, like, 5 dwarf units. It's insane. Alright, let's get them back in there. Boris is very important here. You'd be surprised, because despite the dwarves having very high leadership, you do want the terror to reduce their leadership. Without terror, dwarves will and can cause you very, very many problems, as they'll just hold for way longer than you want them to. So, very important that we have that. As for these miners, I'm just gonna bring back one handgunner unit so that I do have a little bit of crossfire on them, just to make sure that they don't get on top of my guys. As for these guys, we'll just keep hammering these warriors on their flanks. Seems like Felix is routing. Feels like we're capturing this point soon. And then I gotta figure out what I want to summon next. There we go. Crossfire handgunners is in. I say we honestly just get a Zentlers and kill these rangers. Dwarf rangers are very good at winning the ranged fight, but they will die very quickly to cavalry. So as much as cavalry can have a hard time for Slayers, you do want at least a few of them here. Come on, rout, you darn Slayers. That was so close. That was incredibly close. They almost annihilated me there, but we're good. And there we go. We have the point captured. Nice. There we go. There we go. We're good. Not even close. Wow, it is such a good call I brought these guys. Yeah, Crossfire Hurricane. Yeah, we're getting so much Crossfire with our range. It's insane. Alright, so I think, what's it? We've established that a Pit of Shades and 2 handgunners will rout off some Slayers. In this case, I'm gonna have a Boris here, so I don't need to use my Pit of Shades. That should save me a little bit of trouble. Nice, get more crossfire on these guys. Crossfire is the name of the game, guys. Let's see, what I can't get now, though. I don't have any more... I wish I had more, great swords. In the future, I'll probably spam them out a bit more. But, I guess this is fine. I might even be able to get a Hellstorm again. Is that a terrible idea? Honestly, he doesn't have an answer to it, right? So, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. I don't know how I feel about getting another Hellstorm. It is a nice way of spending my resources, which is, pretty important here. I guess for now, I can just get an Empire Knight. Because I want to take this 3rd point in case things get too feisty. And we'll just keep firing at these guys. The dreaded 7,000 value lead, I know, right? We've army wiped them. We've army wiped them at the 10-minute mark. There's not much else he can do now. And the resummoning of Boris is so hard for him to deal with. Because, like, without a better formation, without a big dive-in on the enemy, it's just really hard to... It's really hard to get, to not get shot up by crossbows. You need that range superiority if you're playing as the dwarves. And look at that, these guys are almost terror routed because of Boris. Insanity. Also, I think resummoning the handgunners is the way to go. That feels about right. Might even want to resummon some great swords. Look at this, the Longbeard collapse. Is it good or is it bad? Look at that damage. Oh my gosh, look at that damage. A full surround barely gets a quarter HP damage down. Not that much damage, sadly, but regardless, at least the Slayers are dead. And honestly, I think we just make them suffer. Get the Hellstorm rocket battery back. Okay, yeah, no, it's over. GG! Yeah, routing off the Slayers. Pretty hard task. Pretty hard task. I guess we're gonna route them into the afterlife. Pro strat, guys. Yeah, there we go, the gun spam. It still works. It still works. Look at that value. Oh my gosh. Look at that value. This was all single summoned. My entire value lead was on my handgunners. Not to mention the Hellstorm rocket battery that, because it gave me 800 or 900 gold value back, this bad boy, gave me 3,000 value.